Welcome, dear friends. Today I want to share a practice that has become very alive for me. It's a way to meet people who come to us certain, fixed in their beliefs, maybe even trying to persuade us to pull us into their world. It might be a fundamentalist Christian, a political activist, or just someone who cannot imagine another way of seeing reality. These encounters can stir up old wounds within us. For me, they often bring memories of painful, aggressive moments, especially with fundamentalists in my past. I may feel irritation rise, the urge to defend, our old fear of being trapped in their certainty. And yet, today I want to invite us into another way. The practice is simple. I call it respectful, firm, spacious. Respectful because most people who proselytize are not malicious. They are actually looking for safety, for certainty, for hope, a sense of acceptance and inclusion. Firm, because you and I must not lose our own center or betray our path. Spacious, because we can let their words flow without catching, without binding us in reaction. One way to practice this is through what I call dialectic listening. It means asking questions, not to debate, not to prove, not for any other reason but to listen and to mirror. And it is both an act of kindness to them and a fire of practice for us. So I'm going to present 5 questions you can carry into these encounters. It may be worth jotting them down on a piece of paper and learning them so that they are available when you encounter people in these situations. So when a person begins to talk to you and you feel that the subject is not conducive to your peace, you can, of course, walk away. But if you want to practice to rewire your nervous system from these reactive encounters, here are the specific questions that you can begin to use. And I will explain neurologically why these questions are important. They're not random questions. They are actually designed for a specific purpose. Number 1, what does this mean to you personally? Now, this shifts the focus away from doctrine and into lived heart. It helps you remember that behind another person's belief is a human being with needs and experiences. Neurologically, this moves them out of rigid, abstract thinking and into autobiographical memory, which is softer and more open. Their limbic system engages, and they feel seen as a person, not a position. Second question. How did you first come to believe this? This invites story instead of dogma. When someone tells their story, they step out of certainty and back into memory. And you can listen without feeling threatened because You are hearing a life unfolding, not a wall of doctrine. Neurologically, narrative memory engages networks of reflection and vulnerability. The prefrontal cortex softens, and the defensive edges of certainty begin to diminish. Here's number 3. What do you find most fulfilling about this? This question acknowledges their joy and shifts attention to what sustains them. Instead of locking into differences, you are listening for what gives them life. That changes the energy of the exchange. On a neurological level, this activates the brain's reward and pleasure centers. Gratitude and fulfillment open different circuits than fear and defense, and it calms both their nervous system and yours. Number 4. Has this ever been difficult for you? Now this opens the door to humanity, and it invites them to admit struggle, doubt, or pain, and it helps you hold compassion even in the midst of disagreement. Neurologically, this engages self-reflection circuits and dampens black and white thinking. It also creates an opening where empathy can grow. And finally, number 5. What do you hope others might experience from what you're sharing? This brings the conversation back to intention. Often beneath persuasion lies a simple wish that others feel safe, loved, or healed. Seeing that helps you not take their words as an attack. On a neurological level, this question engages the brain's social networks, stimulating empathy and pro-social intention. It softens both of you into remembering common ground. Again, the reason you're doing this is not to persuade them to change their mind, but it's to offer a human sense of presence to another person, and it is good practice for you as a practitioner of non-reactive intelligence. When you ask these questions, remember to pause and to breathe and let the person speak without interrupting them. And then mirror back. For example, you can say, so for you, it feels like, and then state in your own words what they said. Or you can say, I hear that this gave you, and again, mirror back. No argument, no collapse, just presence. So let me give you an example. Now imagine someone comes up and says, can I talk to you about Jesus? Now instead of tightening, you breathe and say, what does your faith mean to you personally? So they tell you their story. You listen, you nod, and then you reflect. I hear your faith gives you strength. Now you haven't agreed, you haven't resisted, you've simply witnessed. And in that moment, something shifts because they are heard. You are unshaken. Your nervous system learns that you can stay open without being overtaken. This is why dialectic listening is so powerful. It helps them feel respected. And it helps us rewire our own nervous system to stay calm, steady, and free. So as you go through your day, remember this as a mantra: respectful, firm, spacious. Repeat it like a breath prayer whenever you feel triggered. Respectful of their longing, firm in your own sovereignty, spacious enough to let every word pass like wind through the trees. This, my friends, is the gift of presence. And it is how we can remain free in a world of fixed certainties. Let me offer a blessing of presence. May you meet every voice with respect. May you stand in your truth with firmness. May you carry a spacious heart that no persuasion can bind. And may your breath return to you always to the freedom of stillness. Respectful, firm, spacious. So may it be. Peace be with you.